The truth will set you free, with Hector Melo.
Researchers believe that ancient aliens left on Earth monuments and structures that may serve as proof of their visitation. Some of those structures were either constructed by them or for the alien gods. Today we're going to study deeply ancient monuments associated with extraterrestrials. Stay tuned. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to The Truth Will Set You Free. Once you do that, now we are ready to proceed. Many civilizations from the past have given to humanity one of the greatest architectural wonders from history, marvels, buildings and monuments. But according to many researchers, some of those famous monuments or structures were either built by extraterrestrial gods or were instructed to humans to build such by the same gods. As follows, we are going to show some monuments that in certain way or another have a close connection with extraterrestrials. The Tower of Babel is an origin myth and parable in the book of Genesis, meant to explain the existence of different languages and cultures. According to the story, a united human race speaking a single language migrated to Sinjar, lower Mesopotamia, where they agreed to build a city with a tower that will reach the sky. Yahweh, observing these efforts and remarking at humanity's power in unity, confounds their speech, so they do not longer understand each other, and scatter them around the world. Leaving the city unfinished, some modern scholars have associated the Tower of Babel with non-historical structures and accounts, particularly from ancient Mesopotamia. The most widely attributed inspiration is Anunnaki, a ziggurat dedicated to god Marduk in Babylon, which in Hebrew was called Babel. A similar story is also found in the ancient Sumerian legend Enlil and the Lord of Arata, which describes events and locations in southern Mesopotamia. This recount comes from the Bible. We read in the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1 to 9, as follows. Now the whole earth had one language and the same words. And as they migrated from the east, they came upon a plain in the land of Shinar, and settled there. And they say to one another, Come, let us make bricks and fire them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. Then they said, Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves. Otherwise we shall be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. The Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which mortals had built. And the Lord said, Look, they are one people, and they have all one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do. Nothing that they purpose to do will now be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language there, so that they will not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. Therefore it was called Babel, because the Lord confused, behold, the language of all of the earth. And from there the Lord scattered them abroad, up over the face of all the earth. The book of Genesis does not specify the tower's height. The phrase is top in the sky was an idiom for an impressive height, rather than implying arrogance. The book of Jubilees mentioned the tower's height as being 5,433 cubits and 2 palms, or 2,484 meters, which is 8,150 feet high, about 3 times the height of Burj Khalifa, or around 1.6 miles high. Sumerian myth similar to that of the Tower of Babel, called Enlil and the Lord of Arata, where Enlil of Uruk is building a massive ziggurat in Eridu, and demands a tribute of precious materials from Arata of its construction, at one point reciting an incantation imploring the god Enki to restore, or in Kramer's translation, to disrupt the linguistic unity of the inhabited regions, named as Shubur, Hamasi, Sumer, Reticuli, Akkad, and lived together in a single language, in addition as a further Assyrian myth dating from the 8th century BC during the New Assyrian Empire, bears a number of similarities to the later written biblical story. Remember that most of the content discussed on the Truth Will Set You Free channel are material taken from the book What Really Happened by Hector Melo. The same can be found by clicking on Hector Melo's book icon at the home page of this channel, or by clicking on the link found on the description of this video. What Really Happened recounts the secret history of humanity and reveals the true identity of the gods of antiquity. You may also find other books being written by this author, including his Anunnaki saga, Anunnaki the Creation, Anunnaki War of Gods, and Anunnaki the Rebellion. For these and more, please visit www.lulu.com. Göbekli Tepe is an Neolithic archaeological site in the southern Anatolia region of Turkey. The settlement was inhabited from around 9,500 BCE to at least 8,000 BCE during the pre-pottery Neolithic. It is famous for its large circular structures that contains massive stone pillars, among the world's oldest known megalith. Many of these pillars are decorated with anthropomorphic details, clothing, and sculptural reliefs of wild animals, providing archaeologists rare insights into prehistoric religion and the particular iconography of the period. Göbekli Tepe produced the earliest evidence for permanent human settlements in the world. Archaeologists have long associated the appearance of these settlements with the Neolithic Revolution, the transition from hunting and gathering to agriculture, but disagree on whether the adoption of farming caused people to settle down, or settling down caused people to adopt farming. Göbekli Tepe enclosures measure over 10 meters high, 33 feet high, below the highest area of the settlement. These areas were subject to several slope slides events during the occupation period of this site. It's impressive how ancient was the extraterrestrial contact. The stone pillars in the enclosure at Göbekli Tepe are T-shaped, similar to other pre-pottery Neolithic sites in the region. Unlike at these other sites, however, many of the pillars are carved, typically in low relief, though sometimes in high relief. Most carvings depict animals, mostly serpents, foxes, and boars, but also gazelle, sheep, ducks, and vultures. The animals are male and often depicted with an aggressive posture. Stonehenge is a prehistoric megalithic structure on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England, 2 miles west of Amesbury. It consists of a unique outer ring of vertical source and standing stones, each around 13 feet high, 7 feet wide, and weighing around 25 tons, topped by connecting horizontal lintel stones held in place with mortise and channel joints, a feature unique among contemporary monuments. Inside is a ring of smaller blue stones. Inside these are freestanding trilithons, 2 bulkier vertical stanchions joined by one lintel. The whole monument was aligned towards the sunrise on the summer solstice and sunset on the winter solstice. If you are a fan of the ancient astronauts, the unknown and mystery, you will love to take a look at some cool stuff made for you. Just visit the official Hector Melo shop. You may find there items based on those characters that we love. The Anunnaki, the Alpha Centaurians, the Zeta Reticulans, the Pleiadians, the Orions, the Olympians, the Shivarus, and more. Please visit www.cafepress.com/shop/Hector Melo. Cool t-shirts, mugs, apparel, and more. www.cafepress.com/shop/Hector Melo. Stonehenge was constructed in several phases beginning about 3100 BC and continuing until about 1600 BC. The famous circle of light surgeon stones were placed between 2600 BC and 2400 BC. The surrounding circular earth bank and ditch, which constitute the earliest phase of the monument, have been dated to about 3100 BC. Stone Age was produced by a culture that left no written records. Many aspects of the Stone Age, such as how it was built and for what purpose it was used, remain subject to debate. A number of myths surround the stones. Sacsayhuaman is a citadel of the northern outskirts of the city of Cusco, Peru. Its name means Fortress of Royal Falcon or Hawk. This is believed to be the historical capital of the Inca Empire. The complex was built by the Inca 15th century. Located on the steep hill that overlooks the city, the fortified complex has a wide view of the valley of the southeast. Archaeological studies of the surface collection of pottery and Sacsayhuaman indicate that the earliest occupation of the hilltop dates are about 900 CE. The stones are so close spaced that a single piece of paper will not fit between many of the stones. The estimated volume of the stone is over 6,000 cubic meters. Estimates for the weight of the largest limestone block vary from 120 tons to almost 200 tons. These stones were moved an estimated 35 kilometers from Rumicolca. Remember, subscribe to this channel, hit that button. Now we can continue. Teotihuacan modern Nahuatl means the place where the men become gods, or the place where the men met the gods. This is an ancient Mesoamerican city located in the sub-valley of Mexico, namely the Pyramid of the Sun, Pyramid of the Moon, and Pyramid of Quetzalcoatl. Teotihuacan was not a Mexican city, and it predates the Mexican Empire by many centuries. Although it is subject to debate whether Teotihuacan was the center of the state empire, its influence throughout Mesoamerica is well documented. Evidence of Teotihuacan presence is found in numerous sites in Veracruz and the Mayan region. The first human establishment in Teotihuacan area dates back 600 BCE, and until 200 BCE, the site consisted of a scattered small villages. The total estimated population of the Teotihuacan Valley during this time was approximately 6,000 people. Teotihuacan had one of the largest, or perhaps the largest population of any city in the basin of Mexico during this occupation. Teotihuacan was a large prehistoric city that underwent massive population growth and sustained it over most of the city's occupancy. The population eventually stabilized around 100,000 people by 300 CE. Moai are monoliths of human figures carved by the Rapa Nui people, located in the Rapa Nui Island, also known as Easter Island. Nearly half are still at Rano Raraku, the main Moai quarry, but hundreds were transported from there and set on stand platforms called ahu around the island's perimeter. Almost all Moai have overlay large heads, which account for 3 heights of the side of the whole statue. Remember to follow us on our social media: XCOM, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. Don't forget to follow. Moai are carved from volcanic top, which is solidified ash. The human figures will be outlined in the rock wall first, then chipped away until only the image was left. The over-large head of 3:5 ratio between the head and the trunk, a sculptural trait consistent with the Polynesian belief in the sanctity of the chief head, have heavily brows and elongated noses, with a distinctive fish hook-shaped curl on the nostrils. Easter Island statues are known for their large, broad noses and big chins, along with rectangle-shaped ears and deep eyelids. Their bodies are normally squatted with their arms resting in different positions or are without legs. The majority of the ahu are found along the coast and face island towards the community. There are some inland ahu, such as Ahu Akibi. The Moai face the community, but given the small size of the island, also appear to face the coast. The Nazca lines are a group of geoglyphs made in the soil of Nazca Desert in southern Peru. They were created between 500 BC and 500 AD by people making depressions or shallow incisions in the desert floor, removing pebbles and leaving different colored dirt exposed. There are two major phases of the Nazca lines: Paraka phase from 400 to 200 BC and Nazca phase from 200 to 500 AD. In the years leading up to 2020, between 80 and 100 new figures have been found with the use of drones, and archaeologists believe that there are more to be found. Most lines run straight across the landscape, but there are also figurative designs of animals and plants. The combined length of all lines is more than 1,300 kilometers, and the group covers an area of about 50 kilometers square. Nazca lines are very controversial monuments, since supporters of the ancient astronaut theory ensure these have a close connection to extraterrestrials, since the Nazca lines are one of the few monuments that can be seen from outer space. Hi, this is Hector. If you really want to help us to make this channel to grow, you may consider making a donation to the Truth Will Set You Free PayPal account, which is hmelo25@yahoo.com. Thank you. We really appreciate your contribution. The Egyptian pyramids are ancient structures located in Egypt. Sources cite at least 118 identifying Egyptian pyramids. Approximately 80 pyramids were built within the kingdom of Kush, now located in the modern country of Sudan. Of those located in modern Egypt, most were built as tombs for the country's pharaohs and their consorts during the Old and Middle Kingdom periods. The earliest known Egyptian pyramids are found at Saqqara, northern of Memphis. The Giza Plateau is the location of the Pyramid of Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid, and the Pyramid of Cheops, the somehow smaller Pyramid of Khafre of Khafre, the relative modest-sized Pyramid of Menkaure or Mycerinus, along with a number of small satellite structures known as the Queen's Pyramid and the Great Sphinx of Giza. Many researchers believe that the extraterrestrials helped to build these monuments, since the pyramids are perfectly aligned with the Orion's belt from Orion's constellation. Some consider the pyramids as the greatest oparch, out-of-place artifacts in history, and the biggest physical evidence of extraterrestrial visitation on Earth. Just studied ancient monuments built for ancient aliens. Probably someday those will return and show us how do they build such monuments. Please comment below. Thanks for watching. The Truth Will Set You Free. See you next time.